All right, and welcome to tonight's live stream. My name is Justin Tarr, and I am looking to help you find a business idea that inspires you to take action towards starting your own business. All right, there are a lot of people out there that are working a job that they absolutely hate, but they don't ever give themselves the opportunity to get inspired by a business idea that allows them to take control of their income, take control of their time so that they can have true freedom in life and live a fulfilling life, right? That's what we're all here to do, okay? There's no need for you to settle for a job that you do not like just because it might, provide you with income that is allowing you to live a comfortable life, but deep down you know that it's not something that you want to be doing. So why would you continue doing it for any longer than you have to, right? And how we get out of this trap, because again, we're set up to really, accept this and kind of fall in line and do what society tells us to do, which is really find a job, commit 40 years of your life to it, and retire at 65. And magically, you're going to have a happy life after that, which is crazy to me. Okay. If you're unhappy with your job right now, all we need to do is find a business idea that inspires you. Okay. And then we can start figuring out a plan and how to start taking action and start allowing yourself to figure out how to live the life that you want to live on your terms, do what you want, when you want, with who you want, have true freedom, right? I'm obsessed with the idea of freedom, right? I don't want to be entertaining anything that, I don't want to do. I don't want to be around people that, I don't want to be around. And yeah, I just want to spend my time doing things that I enjoy doing, right? And helping people. And this is one of my favorite things to talk about is, um, business ideas and opportunities that you can get into because now we are connected with the internet. All right. And the internet's been around for a while now, but I think a lot of people haven't really understood the power of it. I mean, we are no longer in like a marketplace where you have to do business with the people in your neighborhood, your town, your city. You literally have access to the world via the internet. Okay. So whatever you want to do, you can do it. And there are people out there that need your help. Okay. Whether it's, you know, you might have an interest in comedy or music or something along those lines, the entertainment industry, right? All you really have to do is just start doing that thing online and start just experimenting with it, right? Start having fun. If it's something that you truly enjoy doing, then it shouldn't be hard for you to, start cracking jokes on Instagram or on social media, TikTok, YouTube, whatever it is, whatever channel that you feel confident in or comfortable with, or you spend time on, right? I mean, that's one area that you can start thinking about, right? Oh, I'm naturally funny, right? If people around you think you're funny, then there's a good chance that people around the world will think you're funny, okay? And you don't have to go on a show or anything like this. You don't have to be a stand-up comedian to do this. You can literally just start recording yourself on your phone and just posting it, right? And then just see where it goes. You never know, right? Again, music. If you enjoy music, if you are, fantastic at playing guitar or whatever, you can start figuring out how to create a business around that, right? There are people that need help on like starting or learning how to play the guitar, right? Now you could do in person, you could do online coaching, on how to do that. You can create a ebook that you sell for $25 and you sell it to I don't know, there's all these different ways. And it's hard for me to really dial it in right now because I'd really how I want to do this live stream is I figure I'd go live basically every day. I don't know, for a couple weeks just to kind of feel it out, see if I'm able to attract some people to the live stream to a point where, I can start helping people one on one, just brainstorming a business idea that is in alignment with who you are. Okay. Like, I love coaching. I love helping people break through those mental barriers, right? Those limiting beliefs that are holding them back from doing what they want to do, right? That's like an obsession of mine. And that's why I'm doing this, right? I am on a live stream right now with nobody on it. And I still love this because I know at some point, someone might see this and they might get inspired to start doing something different in their life. And that's what I'm all about. Now you just need to figure out what you're about, right? And I have my own little process, but again, my plan with this is to really take questions from you. Like, if you really hate, don't enjoy your job, or maybe you're in a job that makes good money, right? And you have that in the back of your head, like, how could I leave this job? How can I leave 100,000, $200,000 a year, great benefits, all this, and start my own thing? Like, it doesn't make sense. How am I going to make that much money doing my own thing? Well, it's definitely possible. Okay. You just really have to figure out that business idea that, again, is inspiring and that does have the capability of earning at least that amount of money, right? That's part of the brainstorming process. Okay. Now, I think the saddest thing are those people that, have done everything that society's told us to do, right? Go to school, get good grades, get a good job, earn a good salary, get good benefits, get an annuity or whatever it is. And you follow that line, but then you wake up one day and you're just like, is this really it? Because it's really unfulfilling. And that's the trick. That's the trap, is that, again, we're taught to like really chase money. But to really have a fulfilling life, you have to enjoy what you do on a day-to-day basis, right? Fulfillment comes from service, comes from what you do. Like, what do you do for work? Okay? You don't get fulfillment from money. You get temporary pleasure from money. Okay? And I mean, if you look back on your life, that new car that you got, you've always wanted it, right? And you finally got it. And then after a couple weeks, it's just normal, right? It is what it is. It's your vehicle, right? The same with like the boat or the house or whatever it is that you get, right? You just get familiar with it. It becomes just part of, your environment, and it's not fulfilling, right? So the fulfillment has to come from service. All right. And I believe that everybody has a purpose on this planet, right? And I believe everybody's purpose is just to figure out what a fulfilling life means to you, what it looks like for you, and just go pursue that. Okay, that starts with really identifying how you want to serve the world, right? Again, this idea of getting a job, you at that point you're just trading your time for money, okay? And that's a real trap, because money is actually a reward received for service rendered, right? So the amount of service that you provide, you will in return earn a certain amount of money. Like, this is like, if you're a salesperson, right? The more sales you make, the more sales you make, the more money you earn, right? That's basically how it works, right? But in a job, once you sign on that, dotted line where you say, hey, I'll trade my time for $30 an hour, right? I'll take this position at $30 an hour. Now your income is not based on the service you provide, it's based on the time you put in. Okay. And that you will never become wealthy because you'll run out of time, right? I mean, there's only so much time in the day. There's so many hours you can work, right? And unfortunately, the way, you know, we're basically taught in a way, or our, you know, the habitual way that we as humans live is that the amount of money that we earn, that's where our lifestyle, meets us. We most people just end up living paycheck to paycheck because when they get an increase in pay, their lifestyle is raised up, right? They get the better house, they get the newer car, they buy a boat, they do whatever it is, right? So now they're spending their money and increasing their lifestyle to meet where they are financially. Okay. And that's a game that you'll never win. So again, I don't know where I'm going with this live stream. Again, this is the first one. So I just wanted to see how this was going to work. And I was hoping to answer questions. That's kind of the whole process plan behind this is just answer questions. Again, go through brainstorming sessions for anyone who shows up and just again help people identify that business idea that is in a alignment with who you are and inspires you to at least start educating yourself, right? On a focused topic, on a focused business. Because once you start taking in that information, you're going to get more inspired, right? And that's the key. Once you get inspired, you start taking inspired action, which is new actions, right? Things that you're not doing on a consistent basis. And that's when everything starts to change. That's when your priorities start to shift, right? I remember when I first came across flipping houses, right? I read a book one night after a terrible day at work. I was basically done. I was like, I hate this job. I don't ever want to, I don't want to be stuck here anymore. So I went home. I started researching how to start my own business. And I came across this book on flipping houses. Now, I kind of lucked out because that was like the first book I really actually read through. And I read it that night, became completely obsessed. I mean, this was like a whole new world just opened up for me, right? And I mean, I started to just devour information like YouTube videos, podcasts, um, I was going to seminars, I was buying courses, I was doing everything I possibly could to get my hands on as much information as possible. And the thing is, the more I started getting into this, I started making better decisions with my time. I stopped going out drinking with my buddies. I started, you know, putting bandit signs together and going out at 2 in the morning, putting them out on telephone poles, getting stopped by the cops, asking me what the hell I'm doing. But I was willing to do that because I was so inspired by this idea of the ability to get a property under contract and have a piece of paper that you can actually assign to somebody else who wants to buy the damn thing. And it was just mind blowing to me because it's like, well, there is a possibility to get into real estate and flipping houses without even having any money. And really, any business you can really get into without having any money because it doesn't have to be your money. Like when I got into real estate and I had, these contracts, it was called wholesaling real estate, right? So I'd come across a property that somebody wants to sell, maybe it's vacant or run down or whatever, tired landlord, and I would negotiate a price with them, right? Based on the comps. And I would say, okay, hey, I think I could do $75,000 for this. And if that person said yes, we worked out a deal, we had a contract, and then I would go to my network, right, which is just other investors, and I would say, "Hey, does anybody want this for $85,000? I have this opportunity over here. You can buy it right now for 85,000." And I just tacked on 10 grand, right? Now, I'm still providing service to this person right here who I had a agreement with for 75,000. So, he's not going to worry about where I'm getting my money because again, it doesn't matter. Is it going to come from a bank? Is it coming from my grandmother? Is it coming from, my Uncle Joe? Is it come from whoever? It doesn't matter. As long as I bring $75,000 to the table, it does, it is what it is, right? It's just get him paid off. That property's now sold. Now Joe or whoever owns it, and I get 10 grand. So that was a business I ran for 8 years, and it was great, right? Um, but I'm a true believer that any business you can start with $0, because as long as you find or you have a plan, you either have a plan, right, that is so dialed in that you're like, okay, I'm going to buy this material, and that material is going to allow me to do this job, and that job I'm going to be able to charge that amount of money, and that amount of money I'm going to be able to pay off whoever I had to borrow the money to buy the tools or whatever it is, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, once you have that plan where you understand what you need to get going and to start providing that service or create that product or whatever it is, then you can bring that plan to somebody who has money who would be interested in investing in you. There are a lot of people who have a ton of money that are, you know, they're not ambitious to a point where they want to, start a new business or create a new product or anything like that. They just, if they see a plan that is, well thought out, and they understand where the money's going, and what the return could possibly be, then that's something that you can pitch to someone and they can invest in you. Okay. So again, you don't have to have any money. But here's the thing. If you go up to somebody and just say, hey, I want to start a business, I need $100,000. Do you think they're going to give you $100,000? Hell no. I don't think you'll get anybody to give you $100,000 if you just say, I want to start a business, and that's the only thing that I'm going to give you as far as information. So give me 100 grand. That's not how it works. But if you say, hey, I want to start a landscaping business and here's my plan. Okay, um, I'm going to start by doing $10 ads on Instagram, right? To basically send out an offer to my neighborhood, and I'm going to start collecting leads. And based on those leads, I'm going to start identifying a route that I can take and cut grass or whatever, right? And in order to actually provide this service, I am going to need money for a lawnmower, a driving lawnmower, uh, and all those other tools that you might need. You know what I mean? Like trimmers and all that kind of stuff. Um, and you had a plan, right? And you were able to pitch that to somebody, they could say, okay, well, when would I be able to get my money back? Right. When you take money in, you know what I mean? It's going to go into this bank account, whatever. Like if you have an actual game plan together, somebody can say, okay, I like that. And they can start running the numbers in their head when they'd be able to get their money back and how much they would want to charge you as far as interest or whatever. And that's just a negotiation, right? You you could say, you could structure it however you want. That's the beauty of like contracts and business in general, is just everything's negotiable. Everything really is a negotiation. So like if I had this landscaping business, right? And I said, "Hey, listen, this is my plan. I need, 20 grand, 30 grand to get going. Um, I will give you, 10% or 12% interest on that money. Um, but I'm not going to make payments for a year. Like, let me get this thing going for a year. Provide the 30 grand to me so I can get the equipment that I need, get my route set up, get my ads going, get this thing set up to a point where it's running. I maybe can hire somebody. You know what I mean? Just allow yourself that time, a full year. And then the payments can start. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, again, it really just comes down to being intentional about your plan and your idea, right? And that's why I'm so passionate about helping people just start brainstorming something, okay? So what I'm going to do, is I'm going to see if I can share my screen. Um, so I'm going to share my screen. I'm just going to do like an example. Okay. I have, let me see if I can share. Oh, let's share this. I don't need to share the stream. Share screen. Okay. I am going to share. Can I share the whole entire screen? Okay. Also share system audio. I don't think I need audio. No, I don't think I need audio. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen here and well, I hope you can see it. So either way, what I'm going to do here is I have the wheel of names set up where I put in 100 hobbies, okay? And I actually have a cheat sheet like the hundred hobbies that will uh, uh, allow you to earn at least $100,000 a year. Okay, if you want a copy of that, you can just comment below um, hobbies, hobbies list, something like that, and I'll send it over to you directly. All right, and then that way, like what interests, what hobbies do I have that could potentially lead into a business idea? Okay, so we're just gonna come in here. We're gonna spin this. And we're going to see what it lands on. And we're just going to go with that. So we get songwriting. Okay, so songwriting. Now I'm going to go over to ChatGPT. Okay. And I'm going to, so let me see here. So just a simple prompt like this, right? So give me a list of 10 business ideas based on the hobby of songwriting. I'm telling you, you can do this with any hobby that you have. I'm a true believer that everyone could have a business of their own because everybody has hobbies and interests that they're really passionate about that would earn at least $100,000 a year. Okay, so that's my prompt right here is please give me a list of 10 business ideas and you could do 25, you could do 50, you could do 100, whatever you want to do. 10's easy for this example. So a list of 10 business ideas based on the hobby of songwriting that would earn at least $100,000 a year. So if you're earning 200 grand a year, then put in 200 grand a year. Let's try to find a business idea that will at least allow you to earn your current income. Okay. Let's just start there. And again, I believe that any business that you get into, you can scale it to however high you want. Okay. Whether it's just duplicating that business 10 times or whatever. Okay. But this is a good start. Okay. The hobby of songwriting that will earn at least 100 grand. Okay. So now we're going to allow ChatGPT to give us 10 business ideas around songwriting. Okay. And all you want to do is just scroll through this and it says custom songwriting service. So write songs for birthdays, weddings, anniversaries, or brand jingles. So that's an example of something that you could do, right? 500 per custom song, 200 clients is 100 grand. Okay. Now you could do it on Fiverr, Finch, or your own site. Okay. So that's just, again, an example. So if you're into songwriting for weddings, anniversaries, brand jingles, that might be something you'd be interested in. And again, this breakdown of like 500 per custom song is just an example, right? It's just ChatGPT kind of giving you an idea of how this could potentially break down. I mean, that could easily be $1,000 per custom song, right? Depending on your demographic, right? If you're targeting higher net worth individuals, that could be $10,000 per song. Um, Now sync licensing, TV, film ads. You could do ghostwriting for artists, write lyrics and melodies for singers and rappers. Again, it will give you somewhat of a breakdown. Music publishing company, songwriting course or coaching, Patreon subscription model, brand and influencer songwriting, demo production service studio, collaborative songwriting retreats, songwriting YouTube channel or podcast. Okay. And I mean, that's just a list. And if you have a interest in a hobby of songwriting, I'm sure one of these is going to interest you. All right. And then ChatGPT, I don't know if your version would do the same thing, but mine's kind of set up to give you like the fastest path to 100 grand. And if your client wants to start now with low overhead, combine custom songwriting and sync licensing and coaching. So again, ChatGPT is a great AI in general is a great tool to be using to brainstorm, to really dial things in. All right. And I truly, truly think if you just spent 15, 20 minutes a day just tinkering with this, just building on that idea, okay, until you find something that really interests you, like really inspires you, because then I'm telling you, the floodgates are open and you're not going to be able to stop. Um, again, you'll probably become obsessed because we're talking about something again that you're interested in, right? So let's just say it said something about custom song. Let's just say, what are the steps? So let's just say you wanted custom songwriting service, right? Maybe that interests you the most out of this entire list. So then all you'd have to do is just come in here and just say, give it another prompt, right? And I'll just steal this prompt that I have. Oops. So now all you got to do is once you find something that inspires you, and again, if this list of 10 wasn't enough, then just say, give me 10 more, right? And let ChatGPT just feed you as many ideas as you need. But ideally, you find something that is inspiring to you, right? Um, so start a custom songwriting service business. So we will just put this in here. And I don't know if you can see this prompt. I don't know why I can't scroll up anymore, but maybe it's because of this. Oh, geez. All right. So then the next prompt is, what are the steps to start a custom songwriting service business? Okay. And again, this is just building on the idea, right? You found something that inspires you. Now let's go a little bit deeper. Okay, so now it says steps to start the custom songwriting service business. So define your market and style, create the right 3 to 5 portfolio songs, choose a sales platform, packaging and price your offer, create a simple process, market yourself, build part. This is just again a simple outline of what you need to do in order to start this business. Now, another thing that you want to do is let me just grab this. Is just go straight to YouTube, right? Go to YouTube and you want to ask YouTube, right? So how to start a custom songwriting service business. Okay? And then how do I make money songwriting? How do I sell songs as a songwriter? Sell your songs online, right? You start to watch some of these videos, right? You just find someone that you like and that you trust and that you resonate with, and just start taking in their information and allow yourself again to get inspired to start experimenting. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to quit your current job right now and go all in. You just want to start allocating a little bit of your time and your resources to educating yourself. Okay. And once you find a business that you're truly inspired by and you really want to go all in, then you probably want to hire like a coach to get some accountability and, you know, have somebody by your side to help you get over those like limiting beliefs that will hold you back from really, taking action. Because at some point you're going to get to a point where you understand what you need to do, but if you don't do it, then that means that you have some limiting beliefs that are holding you back. Like you're not good enough. Um, you don't have the experience, you don't have the business expertise, you don't have the time, you don't have the money, blah 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 blah. Okay, those are the things that you really need to get over. But you'll never need to get over that until you find a business idea that you're truly inspired by and you really really want. Okay, so that's again the first part. So that's an example of how you can just start. Okay. So just if you're into songwriting, boom, there's a simple outline of how to just get inspired. That's all you're looking for at the beginning is inspiration. All right. And let me sharing here. So yeah, I was hoping to maybe have some questions here tonight, but again, it's the first live. I don't know how to really get this out. I don't have a huge channel anyway, so but this is really what I'm interested in, and I'm really passionate about this. So I think I'm gonna keep going every day. I'd say Monday, probably Monday through Friday. I might do the weekends. I don't know. This is me experimenting, right? I'm looking to grow my coaching business, and I'm really trying to identify the right people. That's been my not really my hiccup, but it's been my that's what I'm kind of obsessed with right now is really just not getting clients. I want the right clients. I want the people that want to do the work, that want to change their lives. You know what I mean? That really want to do the thing. Get out of their current situation, take control of their income and their time, and experiment or experience all that life has to offer. All right. Because if you're working a job that you hate, that is such a big part of your life that you cannot live a fulfilling life if you are not doing something that you actually, you know, feel of service. Okay. And you get something from it. You should be fed spiritually. It's like you're feeding your soul with what you do for work. Okay. Your soul's either dying or it's thriving and growing and you know what I mean? The fact that I can, I'm here on this for 30 minutes and I'm having a blast and there's nobody watching right now. And again, I didn't really have any expectations on it. So, um, but there will be a replay. So who knows? If you're here on the replay, welcome. And if you have any questions, leave them in the chat or the comment section. I'd love to help you out. All right. If you truly want to, break free from your 9 to 5 and start your own business, we just need an idea. We just need that idea. Okay. Everything opens up after you find that idea that inspires you, because then you have no problem saying no to things that you're currently doing that aren't serving you towards any positive outcome. Right. And once you start changing those habits, those daily habits, then your life starts to change. But in order to do that, you need a reason. You need something that you really truly want. You need a reason to stop doing what you're doing. All right. So I don't know. Maybe I'll do. I don't know. You should probably have a good idea of how I would go about that. Again, I wanted to help people one on one. Also, I am looking to start a Facebook group because I understand that, like, doing this on YouTube is great. And the reason why I like it is because I can go live every day and, hopefully a handful of people show up and I can help them right on the spot. But I know there's going to be people that jump on the replay that might want some help. So I'm creating a Facebook group, and in that Facebook group, you know what? I'll just give you a show. I'll show you what I'm planning on doing here. Okay, so let me share this with you. So what I'm looking to do with this Facebook group is not have a community. I don't necessarily believe that a community is the best thing, especially if you're just getting started and you're just trying to focus in on a business idea. All right. You need that inspiration. You don't need confusion. You don't need, you know, 50 people saying that they're doing all these different things. And then you get confused. Should I be doing that? Should I be doing that? No, 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 no. We don't need that. All right. I want this, group to be more of just like a place for me to be able to help you. Okay. That's all I want. I don't even care if you even interact with anything other than this one post. So what I want you to do is, and this is my plan here, is to have you come in, create a post in the group, right? Just like this, your name and where you're from. That is going to be your post. Okay? That's the only place that you're going to need um interact, right? And all it's going to be is through the comments. So just to give you, and just so you know how to do this, I mean, I created a welcome video which goes through this step by step, but while I have you on the video, I'll just show you what I mean. So you just come in here, you pick a background color, okay? I think you can go, nope, not that. You can go here, and there's a bunch of different colors and stuff. Um, Whatever. I'm just gonna do this one, and you just come in here and you just write your name, right? And then put in where you're from, and then just post that. That's all you need to post. Post it. Okay. And then this is where we can start interacting and start building the idea for you with you, right? This is where we can start, like if we have a one-on-one brainstorming call. This is where, and I'll show you how I set this up on this one. This is where all of our communication is going to be, okay? And first off, I want you, if you already have a business idea that you're interested in, then just type it in here. Okay. First comment, just say, I want to start a business flipping houses or e-commerce or, whatever it is, landscaping. If you know right out of the gate what business you want to start, then just put it in there. If you don't, just say, I don't know what I want. I don't have a business idea yet. Okay. And then what we can do is we can jump on a brainstorming call, like a Zoom call, one-on-one, and we can start going through that process that I just went through earlier, right? Go through the hobbies, identify a couple hobbies. We'll send it into ChatGPT. We'll have ChatGPT give us some business ideas based off of your hobbies. And then we can start identifying the ones that interest you. Okay. And once we get to that point, then, you can, then we can start building a plan. Like, okay, what are the steps that you need to take in order to start this business? And then this this post of yours is going to be your action items, right? What are you committing to doing to get this thing rolling, right? Is it watching a certain video on how to start this business? Okay, great. Let's start there. Okay, from that video, what did you learn? What's your next step? Let's commit to this, okay? And just start taking those small steps. And then that's just going to compound. It's going to create a lot of momentum for you. But again, I wanted to create a space like a Facebook group that I can help people, one on one, really. And all you have to do to speak to me in this group is just tag me. So if you come into your post, you you put in a comment, you just say at Justin Tar, right? You click my name, and then you say, "Hey, how do I do this?" Right? And then you just type it in here. Okay. And then I can send you links. I can send, feedback via maybe a Loom video or, whatever, just to kind of explain something a little bit more via video. I can also send you resources like Google Drive links or something like that. Whatever resources you need at that moment. Okay, just to keep you moving forward, and so you don't get hung up. Um, I'm willing to do this for free for right now, just because I do have this idea that I can help a lot of people at least get started. And then if you want to, work with me one on one as far as like a coaching aspect, which is really just, tying in more of a personal development aspect of it, because once you identify what you want to do, then, we have, I have a process that I go through, a great program that I study, and yeah, I mean we can talk about that later. But at the end of the day, I just feel like just having this group would be helpful for those of you who are serious about starting your business. And yeah, so that's kind of, let me stop sharing. Okay, so that's basically what I'm shooting for here is just to, do these live streams, help people on the live stream itself via the chat. Any questions that you might have, just ask them in the chat. Again, to get you started, I just want to help you overcome those small little things that keep you stuck. Okay? If you have a question that's holding you back from starting, we need to overcome that. We need to get the ball rolling. We need to get those small steps taken so we can start creating some momentum to allow you to actually start your business, right? And take control of your life. So that's what I'm here for. Okay? So that's what I'm thinking. I'm going to just keep on showing up. I don't know again how this is going to work with the live stream, but if you're watching this on the replay, show up tomorrow, or I'll most likely be doing this every day for a couple weeks and just see what happens. I don't know what I'm going to be talking about. Again, I'm kind of relying on the questions, but at the end of the day, we'll just see what happens. All right, so that's going to be it for today's live stream. Appreciate you showing up. And again, if you're serious about starting your own business, and you want help creating that business idea, just you can either comment below. I might even actually add a link to the Facebook group, and you can request access to the Facebook group. I'll let you in, and then we can set your personal post up and get you going. Okay, we can start brainstorming a business idea and get the ball rolling. All right. And again, I just want you to be, to take control of your life and start creating a fulfilling life. All right. There's no reason to wait until you retire to try to figure out how to live a happy, fulfilling life. Let's start doing it right now. All right. I'm going to get off this thing before I keep on rambling. Take care.